Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Tech Gamers World. In this video, I'm going to take you on a tour of my gaming room, so stay tuned, we'll be right back. Let's do this. Okay everyone, welcome back. So here is my small basement gaming room. I'm going to take you on a tour here, but before we get started, if you could click that like button and subscribe to Tech Gamers World, I would love for you to be a part of my continuing adventures. So with that said, let's get to it. So like I said, this is my gaming room, and it is a labor of love for me. I've been working on this for about 10 years now, and I'm going to walk you through it. So we'll start with my favorite spot, the video game consoles. So here is my entertainment stand. On it, I've got various video game consoles and devices. I've got the OG Sony PlayStation 5, a Sony PlayStation Portal, a Microsoft Xbox Series X, the Nintendo Switch OLED Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom model, and I've got a retro mini NES Classic, an Apple TV, and down here I've got some decorative amiibos and a PlayStation Lite and a Super Mario Brothers Lite. Now right here is a 4K, 8K capable HDMI splitter, and I'll show you why I have that in a minute. Here I have a Pixo 64 LED display. It's really cool. It's one of my favorite decorative things in my gaming room. And then up here, I've got a 65-inch 4K TV. Now, how I wired all of this stuff is actually pretty neat. I'll explain that here. So, the Sony PlayStation 5, the Microsoft Xbox, the Nintendo Switch, the NES Classic, and the Apple TV, all 5 of those wires, HDMI cables, come down to this splitter here. Now, normally you would take this splitter and send it up to your TV so that you could switch inputs between all the devices. What I actually did is something different. I took the output from this splitter, ran it around the floorboard in my gaming room behind the shelf, which I'll show you here, down to my gaming computer. Now, on the gaming computer, I have an Elgato 4K video capture card, so I can capture all the content that comes off the PlayStation, the Xbox, the Nintendo Switch, right into my computer, which I can use for recording video content and streaming online. I use OBS Studio to capture content and play live video games through live streaming to YouTube, to Twitch, to Kick. I can also edit and manipulate videos with OpenShot Video Editor up here. And here is the native Elgato 4K capture utility, which I can also record video content on. But I prefer OBS Studio because I can then overlay myself on web cameras and then use my microphones to record my content. I have 2 web cameras here, a Logitech 4K camera and a Logitech 1080p camera here. I use this for recording close-ups of the video game controllers when I make YouTube shorts. So between all of that, I then have my blue microphone here for recording audio while recording videos and live streaming. And I also have a headset that I use here for recording audio, obviously, when I am looking for that different type of sound or my home environment is a little bit louder. This is one of my favorite headsets. So swinging back over now, I take the output from the computer, run it around the floorboard following the original cable, and then up through the wall, connect it to the 4K TV. So then what I can do, and I'll show you here, if I turn the Xbox on and my Nintendo Switch on, right now I can go ahead and switch the input. So the input right now is set for the Sony PlayStation 5. If I move the input to input 4, you will see here I am now on the Nintendo Switch input. And if I move the input to, let's say, input 2, you will see here, as soon as it comes up, I am on the Xbox input. So then again, 3 is back to the Sony PlayStation 5 input. Now this works amazing for me because I can switch between all my consoles without having to do anything other than push that button. And it allows me to switch between consoles when I'm recording my content. So that's really cool. On the back of the TV here, I've got a Govee RGB light strips here that I can all use through the Wi-Fi, which gives me that nice ambiance. Right now I have it set for blue and green. I'm constantly altering it. Up here, I've got just a bunch of my decorative stuff. I love Legos, so I built this shelf here, and I put my Lego pieces up on it with some various other video game collectibles. Over here, I mounted all my controllers to the wall, which works out really well because I can just go and grab the controller I need when I'm not using it. Go ahead there and close it up. So that's pretty cool. So nice little touch to my gaming room. I love headphones. I have multiple models. Some have been gifted to me, others I've procured on my own. So I've gone ahead here and mounted them on the wall. So if I want to use this one, all I have to do is take it off, flip that closed, and good to use. When I'm done, just go ahead and put it back. Keeps things nice and organized. One of my second favorite pieces of decorative stuff in this room is my Visit Hyrule travel poster. And it says, "But remember, it's dangerous to go alone," which is one of my favorite sayings. Then over here is something pretty cool. This is a Roller Coaster Tycoon shadow box that is signed by none other than Chris Sawyer. It is a limited edition series. Here we've got the Stormtrooper. He stands guard and protects all of my stuff. And now I've got my old school video game collection here. This is the Hall of Fame retired section. These are all consoles I had growing up. The old school NES, the Game Boy, the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64, the GameCube. I've even got newer ones. This was my original Nintendo Switch. Here it is the non-OLED edition. I've got the Wii U, and down here is my Thrustmaster T-Flight HOTAS 1 and T-Flight rudder pedals, which I use for flight simulator games. And we've got none other than the Ninja Turtles standing guard. That's pretty cool, and it's some of my favorite stuff. I was a huge Nintendo fan as a kid, as you can see, and I think it makes a nice addition to my gaming room. Up here, I've got my Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 1,000-piece poster that I completed, which I then had put into a frame and I put on display here. Over here, I've got my Breath of the Wild poster that shows all the different areas. We've got the Elden Mountains, Hyrule Field, the Tabintia Frontier, the Hyrule Ridge, the Gerudo Highlands, Lake Hylia, East Nakluda, because Legend of Zelda is one of my favorite video games series. Over here, I've got some more controllers. These are the retro Super Nintendo and NES wired and wireless controllers. You can connect them with USB cables to the consoles or play them via wireless through these dongles, and they work really well. I use them on both the PC for emulators and on my NES Classic there. On my desk here, I've got these little outlets. This is from Tron. These were gifted to me for my YouTube channel for review, and they are awesome. You mount this on your desk, and then you've got electrical outlets. So I've got 5 of them. So if I want to plug in something, don't have to be going down to the floor to fumble around, which is cool. Over here on my futon, I've got a Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild throw blanket and some Legend of Zelda Master the Shield, Hylian Shield here pillows, which are cool. They're one of my favorite decorations in the room, and they're incredibly comfortable. I got these in the Nintendo store in New York City. Over here, we've got one of my newest purchases, my VR headset. This is the Meta Quest 3S. I've just recently gotten into virtual reality gaming, and it's pretty fun. I've been playing a lot of the open world game Sail, which is where you are simulating a pirate captain, which is a lot of fun. Over here, I've got another one of the electrical outlets from Tron. Down here, I've got my old school Atari. This is the 2600 Plus edition, which is really cool, and it emulates the look and feel of the original with the 10-in-1 cartridge. Over here, I've just got some more decorative stuff. Got some little Nintendo characters here from Mario Kart as their little Hot Wheels set, which is cool. I love Hot Wheels. On the floor here, one of my nicest pieces to the room is this little gaming rug. Helps keep the floor clean and keeps my room looking stylish. So that's pretty much it here. This is my gaming setup, and I absolutely love it. And it is always a work in progress. So I hope everybody enjoyed this video. As always, if you could click that like button and subscribe to Tech Gamers World, I'm always going to have new and exciting content from the world of video games and technology dropping all the time. I would love for you to be part of my journeys. Thanks a lot, everybody, and I will see you around. Keep on gaming.